Okay, so last Thursday, the 2nd of February, Feast of Candlemas, I went to the funeral for George Cardinal Pell, and I've got the booklet and the prayer card to prove it. And I'm also, you can just see me on the 7 newscast here. So how about we start with that? It gives you a bit of a flavour of where it was. You can see St Mary's Cathedral. Here we go.
And there are thousands of people here now sitting in the sun. St Mary's Cathedral itself is absolutely...
Okay, let's pause it there. This is my Mother Teresa. If you can see the arrow there, this is me. I'm sitting down on the concrete, and this is my 2 daughters. And yes, we were talking to some people here. So we were right back here because this is the first place you can find to sit down. Yes, all this, they've got these nice planter boxes which have a nice raised edge, and you can't really sit on such a metal spiky edge. There's also, it's a very, very hot day. There was a little bit of cloud cover passing now and then, but a lot of the time it's really, really sunny. The ground is really hot, and you can see the people bunched up around the shade here. There's some stairs going down there where there's more people. The people are quite thick watching the screens up there, and there's more trees here where it's a little bit shady. If you know Sydney, on the left is College Street. Sorry, left is College Street, where on the other side of it is Hyde Park, where there was an organised protest. And that's where a lot of the news coverage focused, even though there are only about, I reckon, about 50 people, maybe some people say 100. There was a small protest over there, and it only lasted 15 minutes, half an hour, and then they were gone. They went marching down College Street to Oxford Street, where it's sort of the red light district as far as I understand it. So it's sort of annoying that all yeah, and here I am giving them more oxygen pretty much. But anyway, yes. So I'll try not to dwell on this, but you can see there's this cathedral. The reason why we're outside is because the cathedral is full, and it has been full. The doors opened 1.5 hours before the Mass was due to start. We got there half an hour before the Mass started, and they were turning people away saying, unless you have an invitation, you can't come in. So I don't know exactly what time it was full, but there's standing room only inside a very, very large cathedral. So lots of people packed in there who have been waiting since 9:30 in the morning. And from 11 o'clock, it goes through, let's see, what's is the time? 3 hours 41 is how long the live stream goes for. So they're there. They've been there waiting, and they're there for a considerable time. So you can see the dedication of thousands of people. Okay, so we're getting this in perspective. Okay, so you know what's coming with this. Let's hear it from the reporter's mouth.
Seen so many people here on both sides of the fence. You could say some who are in support of the late Cardinal, and many who are vocally against him.
So did you hear that? Some who are in support of the late Cardinal, and many who are vocally against him. So does that make it sound like the many are more than the some? Does it? I mean, yeah. Okay, so then the rest of the thing follows the protesters going down College Street. But my thing is, the some were vastly outnumbering the total, the many protesters, and they were much more dedicated. They come from a long way. They were facing... Hyde Park is nice and shady and comfortable. It would have been great to... We did end up, after Mass, sitting in Hyde Park for a while. And if we'd stayed just a little bit longer, we would have seen the hearse go past. But anyway, yes. Okay, so that's pretty much all I want to show you from that news broadcast. The same point was being made by Andrew Bolt from Sky News to say that there were more people were mourning Cardinal Pell than were hating him. And that is so true. And that's the point I want to make. Andrew Bolt makes it much more clearly and succinctly. So what's the next point? This is the Solemn Pontifical Mass live stream, which is also fantastic. It's a long one, but you can hear as an introduction. This is the Dean of the Cathedral, as I understand it. So you can see there are so many priests and bishops coming in. Just the procession of priests and bishops coming in took a long time. Let's see. Here's Bishop Archbishop Fisher's address at the beginning. If you're watching this, the music is fantastic. They put in a lot of Gregorian chant. The introit, they did Requiem Aeternam. They did an Alleluia between the readings and the Gospel. And, you know, as a Latin Mass person, you're thinking, they did an Alleluia at a funeral Mass, but they did the gradual as the Alleluia verse. And it took so long the guy with the incense was just there incensing the altar for the whole elaborate gradual. What else? There's some beautiful music. I'm not sure how you get a copy of the program, but if I find it, I'll put a link in. The music, they did Love Divine or Love's Excelling at the beginning, which I didn't get to hear very well because that was when the protests were going. But they left soon after. It was all cleared by the Kyrie. It was all quiet. And anyways, the communion verse was the Lux Aeterna, which is awesome. They did the simple Sanctus, they did the polyphonic Agnus Dei by Victoria, so they had to do Agnus Dei qui tollit peccata mundi dona eis requiem, like in the Latin Mass. And they sang Firmly I Believe as the last hymn for communion, because the communion went on for a long time. There were a lot of people receiving communion, even outside. They had, might have been about 8 priests coming outside to distribute communion outside, and the no Eucharistic ministers, because they had like 50 million priests. So, there's, I think that wraps up the music at the end, right at the end after the burial. So see at the end of the stream, they've got the burial, and right at the end they sing the Salve Regina. So I think, there you go, Salve Regina. So you can hear, I think they had a bit of trouble with the sound just before that, but you can hear the Salve Regina kind of softly. But it works. There were 2 speeches at the end, one by David Pell, who is the brother of George Pell, his younger brother. Let's see, you can see the priests here. If you're looking at reactions, you can see Bishop Fisher as he's listening and enjoying the talk. And Father Withoos was Cardinal Pell's secretary, and you can see he's listening with a broad smile over his face a lot, and it's good to see. There's another cut where you get to see the bishops behind. Let's see if I can find the spot. Okay, so here, this is a good one of Bishop Vincent Long there, who doesn't look quite as enthralled. Bishop Vincent Long is the Bishop of Parramatta. So he has a bit of a different stance on the LGBT community. There's a different sort of stance to Cardinal Pell. So I don't know, I don't want to say too much. Okay, but you can watch him if you want. I'm not telling you what to do. Okay, the second eulogy, this is after Mass, so it's not during Mass, was the Honourable Tony Abbott, our former Prime Minister, who is Catholic and would make appearances when Cardinal Burke came to, Cardinal Burke came to say Mass at St Bridget's, Marrickville, which is the second biggest church in Sydney. Tony Abbott was there too, and you can see Father Withoos enjoying Tony Abbott's speech, and he says some great stuff. I wish I'd teed it up better so I could show it here.
And as I heard the chant, Cardinal Pell should go to hell, I thought, aha, at least they now believe in the afterlife.
Again, you can see Father Withoos, and then you can see the cut of the bishop's reactions too, and it's, I don't know, that's not the point of Mass, I know, but it's still, it's worthwhile if you're interested. Okay, but that's what I got out of it. I wasn't in the building at the time, but by the end of Tony Abbott's speech, that's when we were dying of sunstroke and heading out for Hyde Park and some refreshments. Is there anything else I can recommend? Let's see. Looking up Cardinal Pell's speeches and what he wrote, it's all really good. So is that enough? That probably is. Thank you for watching my little rant. Let's see. Keep praying for the repose of the soul of all the people who have died recently. And that's when my grandfather died, there was a little prayer card which had a prayer on the back. Let's see if I remember it. Pray for me and live in such a way that we may be reunited in a blessed eternity. Okay, so requiem aeternam dona ei Domine et lux perpetua luceat ei requiescat in pace. Amen. God bless. Pray.